Hey you guys, it's Kaylee. I am back with another thrift haul. I am doing a lot of thrift hauls lately. So this is a continuation of the last two thrift hauls. So if you guys have been following along and you notice the table looks the same, it's because it is taking me a couple days to process through everything. This is a haul from a small little road trip that Joe and I went on where we thrifted on the way there, and then we also met up with a potential new source for us. I'm going to someone's vintage warehouse and shopping there. It ended up being a really good place to source, so this is all a combination of all of that. It's all jumbled in together, mixed in. I had to literally shove stuff into my little car, so it's all over the place. But I need to go through it and kind of call a couple things that need washed, things that are for ourselves, things that might be going to other places. So I thought I would just take you guys along with me. I'm halfway through this tote here, so I'm just gonna start with this and then we will finish up with these totes. So this first one is a men's piece. It is Burberry London. I love finding men's Burberry stuff because even if they're not like a super substantial piece, just like a dress shirt, they still do well. This is a men's size large. This will probably go anywhere from 40 to maybe 60 bucks. Really just depends. I've said it before. I think I said it maybe in the last video, but why am I pulling from this? In the last video, that plaid with Burberry really increases the value, even if it is not like their traditional colors. It still does pretty well. I got a lot at one place. We thrifted a lot of larger size Polo Ralph Lauren, which I've mentioned in another video, so I'm just going to keep checking those back because they're all like pretty much the same thing. But I have a couple more designer pieces. This is 3.1 by Philip Lim. This is not one I would really commit to memory, but some other pieces can do well. I'm very picky with it. This is a silk dress. It's long sleeve, it's a nice green color, good for the holidays, and it has some like beaded embellishments here. So for all of those factor stacking reasons, I thought that this would be a good piece. I have to do some more comps on like the specific pieces of that, but I thought that it would do well. All right, I found another men's Burberry piece. This one is a little bit more of their traditional colors, so this one I might list a little bit higher at like $75 to maybe $100. I'll have to see, but like I said, plaid and Burberry adds a ton of value. All right, this is a North Face men's vest, fleece lined, size extra large. I got this one knowing that we'd have to wash it. It does have some like, I think it's like snow salt on the front, but it should be a quick wash. I think Joe's going to keep it, to be honest with you. But if he wouldn't, I would expect probably like maybe 50-ish bucks for that one. This belongs to something I showed in another thrift haul, so let me just tie this on the garment so they don't get confused and lost again. All right, this next one is a sweater. This is by Pendleton. This is one of my favorite brands to get during this time of the year. Small, just a small petite. This is more bread and butter. It is a women's wool kind of basic turtleneck sweater. Should be about 25 bucks for that, maybe a little more. All right, this is Neiman Marcus. This is cashmere. Neiman Marcus isn't typically a brand I get, but I'm looking up like every 100% cashmere piece. So extra small cashmere, kind of like a sweater blazer jacket. Great factor stacking there. Cashmere is doing really well. Sweater blazers are doing really well. So I feel like that is going to do very good. All right, next up, this one's I'm taking a little bit of a risk on. It's Kate Spade, which is kind of hit or miss, but I like the little polka dot flutter skirt, and this just gives me like very retro classic vibes with the black and white polka dot. Kind of almost has like somewhat of a metallic sheen to it, so I also thought that that would be good for the holidays. But I will be honest that Kate Spade skirts don't always perform the best, so I only got it because I could factor stack all of that stuff at the same time. All right, moving on to the next tote. I got this Western men's pearl snap shirt. This is by Wrangler. And this is a 2XL tall. Wrangler snap shirts, unless they're multicolor, do not sell very well for me unless they're larger sizes. So this one is a larger size. It is all over black, which is not multicolor, but it does have some cool striping detail. Had this not been a larger size, I probably wouldn't have gotten it, just because, like I said, they don't tend to sell for a whole lot or have the best sell-through rate, although, you know, Western wear is super trendy right now, so it kind of just depends. But multicolor ones, absolutely. All right, this next one looks like it has a small spot, so I'm going to pull it to stain treat it because, oh, someone's glasses are in here. Oh no. I hope I don't have anybody's like actual glasses. Yeah, those are actual glasses. Okay. I don't think they're anything super like high quality or anything. I'm gonna set those aside. Cute frames. I get scared when I find stuff in pockets. If you guys have seen any of those videos, you know what I'm talking about. But this is an LL Bean, one of my favorite brands to get. This is a women's vintage kind of house coat, super substantial piece. This is made in USA, size large, larger size, very heavy like robe house coats, and these perform extremely well. This also comes with the matching belts, but like I said, I do have to spot treat that. This I think is going to sell for about $60. I'm going to price this one a little bit up because the ones that I saw selling were not selling for that much. They were selling for like 35, 40-ish, but none of them were like heavy duty like that. They were all really thin. So I'm like adding a couple bucks up in my mind. All right, this is a definite BOLO. This is Eileen Fisher plus size 2X. Eileen Fisher plus size anything performs extremely well, so I would highly recommend it. And this is a pretty substantial piece. It is a soft wool jacket. And I think this is going to do fantastic, and green's a really popular color right now too. Let's see, this is merino wool and nylon. So yeah, I think that should perform pretty well. All right, next up, this is a vintage Orvis jacket. I used to pick up everything Orvis, not so much these days. It does not perform the best for me, but some of the more like rarer stuff, more substantial pieces can do well. This is a men's size large canvas coat. It's giving me like hunting, fishing vibes. I'll probably use the keyword hunting. But this style of jacket, a blazer, but with like the interesting details to it, the little suede details and then the elbow patches, I think will carry this item a long way. So I was very excited to get that. I have no idea what I'm going to price that for. Probably up and accept best offers. All right, this next one can be a good one to get during this time of the year. It's Icelandic design. This stuff used to go for a ton more. It still can do good if you've got a substantial piece, which I think this one is. This is a size extra large, heavy lined women's Fair Isle coat. And I think I should be able to get like 60 and up for this. This one has some really gorgeous like ornate button details, and I love the contrasting trim as well. All right, I think I'm gonna have to start a new pile. This one's kind of crazy. All right, I got this Christmas one, which sadly, I think I'm gonna miss the Christmas season, but I'm still gonna list it. It is just a vintage label. Don't really know that one real well. little Christmas graphic sweatshirt. And I thought this was a good enough graphic that could carry it through. This one is dated 1992. I just thought it was a really cute graphic that somebody would like for the holidays. So I got to take that home and wash it. All right, next up is a jersey. This is by Mitchell and Ness, which sometimes can be good. I've sold a couple of things. It really depends on what it is. This is a men's size large. Men's? Yes, it looks like men's. And then it's also the Cooperstown collection. And when I've sold Mitchell & Ness in the past, this collection is always what sells well for me. So when I saw this, I was like, I gotta look that up. Joe told me what this team is. I cannot remember. I'm trying to think. They're the A's. Is that Georgia? Atlanta, maybe? I don't know, but pretty good comps on this one. I'm all over the place. Pretty good comps on that one. I think that was going to sell for like 40 maybe. All right, this is another vintage label. I wouldn't commit that to memory. This is a really cute kind of, I think kitsch would be the right word to use with this, kind of grandma core little sweatshirt. And this one is dated 1994, so pretty easy to date it, and I thought it was really cute. Typically for the sweatshirts, vintage sweatshirts, if I can't like look up the exact one, I usually price them around like anywhere from 35 all the way up to 50, depending on how good the piece is. That one I'll probably list at probably 35 to 40. All right, this is another vintage t-shirt. I need to stain treat. This is one of my favorite vintage labels to find for the Loom Best. Size extra large, single stitch. And this really doesn't have any kind of like pop culture or anything on it, which is what I try to stick to. But it does have, what would you call it? I don't know, not nostalgia, but like buyer pool, I guess, because it's a bowling shirt. So I thought a bowler would really like this. It says Bowlathon. It's got a little parrot there. It is not dated, but it is single stitch and it's definitely vintage. So I thought it was a really nice graphic. I do need to stain treat it a little bit, but I thought somebody would like that. Same thing as the sweatshirts. I usually price them like 35 plus, and I just kind of make up a price and accept best offer. This is another one, not a brand I'm familiar with, but it is another vintage shirt. This one's kind of a longer length shirt. It is single stitch, yes. This might have been a men's shirt originally. If not, it's an oversized women's. Oh, it's one size fits all, that's why. This is very large. But it is a cat graphic vintage shirt. I thought it was very darling. And if you guys didn't know, cat, like crazy cat lady stuff, cat people love cat stuff. And it sells really, really well, despite brand and stuff like that. If you've got something with a very heavy cat theme, in my experience, it sells really well. And I thought that this would do really, really good. Does this have a date? It does not. But that is just darling. Somebody is going to absolutely love that. Thought that was a good one. All right, I found this Ed Hardy. I believe it's a women's shirt. Very bedazzled Y2K skull. Not glittery, but jewel toned. I'll have to do a Google lens. Some of the Ed Hardy stuff have like more rare designs. I think a skull is a good indicator that that might do well. All right, this is a brand I just learned about. It's like an art to wear brand. It is called Alan Wickler Artwear. I saw this shirt and I was like, that is definitely artsy. Plus it's got a cat graphic on it. Okay, so that was one of the main reasons I looked at it. Very artsy, kind of like tie-dye-ish. Very art to wear, and then it has a moon on the back, so celestial vibes too. This looks like stitching, but it's not. But all of those things combined, I think I am probably going to list this one kind of high at $50, but that brand in general seemed to be performing pretty well. All All right, this is what I think is a vintage hoodie that needs stain treated. Here is the tag. I'm not familiar with this trench tag, but it does look vintage. I'll have to look that up. Made in Buffalo, New York, size extra large. This is what I believe to be a vintage Boston Red Sox hoodie. And this had a pretty good following as well. It definitely needs some stain treating. All of these do. But I thought this was a really good piece, and Boston Red Sox hoodies were selling, vintage ones were selling like $35 to $45. Here's another Western Pearl Snap. This is a pretty decent brand, Eli Diamond, or I think it's like Eli Plains. It's like Eli, and then there's like different lines. This is Eli Diamond. And they all perform pretty well. This is size large. This is kind of a cool piece because it is a bright pink. Let me snap the button here for you so you can tell. But it also has some like Southwestern embroidery. So that's definitely going to add a little bit of value to it. I'll probably still only price this for like $35 to $40 because they just don't perform that great, but they do perform pretty decently. All right, next up, this is a brand I've just recently learned about with a pretty good following. It is Crazy Shirts Hawaii. I just sold 2 pairs of pants with this brand, and the tag, even though their pants did say Crazy Shirts, and they have a pretty good following. So this is a Crazy Shirts Hawaii men's size extra large fish graphic t-shirt. I think this is probably Y2K also. And these were going for like anywhere from 20 to like, I don't know, maybe 40. I think I'm gonna list that one kind of in the middle at around like 35 maybe. This one I just got based off of Style. It is a Hawaiian shirt and it's made in Hawaii, which is a good indicator of quality. It's a larger size, 2XL. It has a really nice parrot beach graphic. And so I thought that that would perform well, especially, you know, leading into warmer weather. Am I missing a button? I am not. Okay, we're good. I don't know. I got to look up that brand, but the fact that it was made in Hawaii, I think is a good sign. I also grabbed a couple of other Hawaiian shirts. I don't expect to sell these till like spring or summer, but they were just good buys. Tommy Bahama silk shirt. Good floral pattern. I might hold those until next year. I'm not sure. All right, this next one is another vintage shirt. Fruit of the Loom Best Again. Single stitch. This one is not dated, but I thought it was a good enough graphic that somebody would buy it. It is, it has a curse word on it, but so happy I've turned 40. I thought it was a funny one that somebody might want for somebody's birthday. And like I said, it is vintage and single stitch, so I thought that would be cool. Probably 35 to 50 on that one as well. Okay, this next one also needs stain treated, but it had a pretty good following. Some of the anime shirts can perform well. They have huge followings, like Death Note's one of them that does really well. This one is called Cowboy Bebop. And Cowboy Bebop shirts can do well. I actually sold this exact one, had gone, I think it was close to 40 if I'm remembering right, but it's got some corgis on it. So I picked it up, but yeah, pretty good following on those anime shirts. That one's not even vintage, it's just kind of a modern one. I got this for myself. It's just a Beetlejuice shirt. It's not vintage, it's modern. All right, we have the Mountain shirt. This used to be a really popular brand. Not so much anymore, but bigger sizes or really good graphics I'll still get. So this is a 4XL, the Mountain, really cool wolf graphic shirts. And yeah, pretty cool. It definitely has some bleach spots at the bottom, but I almost felt like that gave it a little bit of pizzazz to it. Okay, I think I'm going to get through this tote and cut it off, and then I have a giant tote for another thrift haul because I don't want to make this too long. This is a, I believe, vintage, if not Y2K, Hanes tag. Another sweatshirt. This one's like teacher vibes. Thought this was super cute. I love the contrasting collar too. Sweatshirts, like grandma sweatshirts with that, always perform really well for me. Probably same thing, like 35 to 50 on that. This is another Tommy Bahama silk shirt. This is one I'm keeping for myself. It's one of my favorite bands. It's not like my favorite band, but it's one of my favorite bands. It's like top 5. I Prevail. This will be good oversized shirt or even a sleep shirt. That one's just modern, like I said, just for me. All right, next one is a men's shirt. This is by the brand Hugo Boss. And what size is this? It is a triple XL, so that's one of the main reasons I got it. Plus it has a big spell out, and some of these brands like Armani and Hugo Boss, if they've got a big spell out or a logo, can increase the value a lot. So I thought this would be good with that Boss spelling out right there. And with it being a larger size. I have no idea on pricing on that. I would guess 35 to 40 though. That's just a modern one. All right, next up is just a cute little vintagey sweater. Sometimes I'll get sweaters regardless of brand if they have like a lot of embellishments. This one's buttons falling off. I'm gonna have Nikki tighten that button up, but it's like a fall leaves, kind of Halloween vibe-ish sweater with some rakes. I thought like a gardener would use this, a landscaper, or if it has to wait until next fall, maybe, but I just thought the graphics were really good and it's all over. But I will set that to the side so that I can have Nikki fix that button. Same thing as the sweatshirts, like I feel pretty solid, anywhere from 35 to 50 on those. This one I grabbed without comping, so this may have been a mistake. I forgot that I had this in here and I should have comped it. Pearless, I'll tell you why I thought it might be good. It's like a fishing crawfish polo. So they're like very specific, known for something. It is made in Peru and it's multicolor. And it has its own branding logo here. So for all those reasons, I thought this might be a good brand. Is it actually a good brand? I actually have no clue. I should have comped it, but regardless, we'll take a look at that. This like multicolor colorway is really good. Maybe that's a huge bolo, maybe it's not. And that is why you should comp before you check out. I forgot that was in there. This is a Polo by Ralph Lauren Whitfield shirt. It is a wool blend. I didn't even check comps. I just got it because it's like very on trend. Flannel, red and black, wool blend. Gonna add some value there. All right, next up, another Crazy Shirts Hawaii shirt. This one has front and back graphic, and I thought it was really good. That like center hit and a back hit. Just sun. It does not have a date on it. I think it's just like a Y2K modern brand, but they had some really good comps. All right, and then the last two are both Tommy Bahama silk shirts. I won't bore you too much with them. Like I said, these are gonna perform better in spring and summer. I used to be able to get like 50 bucks all day long for these. Now it's more like 30 to 40, but they're all silk and they've all got some pretty good floral details. All right, guys, we emptied out 2 more totes. I have one more, like I said, down below, but I will put that into another thrift haul so they aren't extremely, extremely long. We'll break them up, but I do have some more good stuff to share with you guys, and I hope to see y'all there. Bye.